Alright, welcome to Module 3 class, where we're going to be talking about crafting high converting campaigns. And in this class, we'll be looking at 4 important aspects of crafting high converting campaign. The first one is we'll be examining the anatomy of a high converting campaign and how to write compelling headlines and copy, and how to design effective calls to action, and crafting engaging visuals and multimedias. These are very strong points we're going to be covering in today's class. So without much ado, let's get started with the first section of the class, which is the anatomy of a high converting campaign. When we talk about the anatomy of a high converting campaign, we're talking about what is involved in the strategic planning, compelling content writing, and an understanding of your audience needs. So these are some of the important areas that comprise in the anatomy of a high converting campaign. So let's talk about let's talk about some of the key components that make up a successful campaign, so you can be able to understand what a high converting campaign should cover. The first is clear objective. Now you need to define a clear objective. We can't emphasize this enough because in the previous classes we have made some very strong cases about making sure that you understand the objective of the campaign you're creating. Because if you don't understand the objective of the campaigns you're creating, there is no way your CRO effort is going to have any result, because your understanding of the objective that you're pursuing will give you a holistic idea of the strategies that you need to put in place, and also how best to approach your target audience. So understanding the clear objective is very, very important in creating a high converting conversion rate optimization campaign. And this could be your objective could be about increasing sales, generating leads, or boosting engagement. Whatever it is, you need to have a clear objective guide. You need to have a clear objective to guide your strategy and help you measure your success. Another aspect or component of a high converting campaign is understanding your target audience. You need to also identify who your target audience are and who your campaign is aimed at. This will help you to tailor your messages, your designs, and offers to resonate with this specific group of people that you're targeting. And then along with that, another important component of a high converting campaign is value proposition. Alright, clearly communicating the unique benefits and value of your product or service or whatever you're offering is very key. It's key to a successful high converting campaign when it comes to conversion rate optimization. So your value proposition should address your audience pain points and also explain why they should choose you over your competitors. So value proposition is very, very important in creating a high converting CRO campaign. And then you also need to have compelling content. Alright, compelling content is things like creating a persuasive and engaging content that captures attention and drives action. Now this might include, or this might comprise of things like your headlines, your body copy, your visuals, and multimedia elements that you use in your campaign. All of these have the effect of compelling your audience to take your desired action. And then in order to get them to do that, another important component of a high converting campaign is strong CTA. Alright, strong CTA. So you need to have strong call to actions. Alright, strong call to actions are very important in launching an effective conversion rate optimization campaign. So effective call to actions, because they're going to prompt users to take the next step that you want them to take, whether it's about making a purchase or signing up to your newsletter, or even learning more or downloading a material or whatever your objective is, it's call to action that drive your visitors or your audience to take actions that will lead to you achieving your objective with a clear value proposition. So these are very important points that you need to put in place and make sure you have them before you can say you have built a high converting campaign. And then we also need to talk about optimized landing pages. Now, you need to ensure that your landing pages are optimized for conversion. Of course, again, with clear messaging, easy navigation, and minimum distractions. Now, there's a big difference between a website and a landing page. A landing page is targeted towards a particular objective, and you need to make sure that your landing page is not cluttered with unnecessary information that is distracting your visitors and target audience from taking your desired action. So you need to make sure that your landing page has easy navigation and there's minimal distractions on the page, and then your messaging has to be clear as well, so that your target audience would be able to take your desired action when you want them to. Again, there is nothing really absolute when it comes to marketing. You always get better results by testing and improving some elements on your pages and your campaign generally. So even when you have all of this in check, even when you have all of this checked out rather, you still have to test out some elements and optimize based on some things that you're noticing on the page. So you keep optimizing, you keep making changes here and there based on the data you're deriving from the performance of your campaigns and pages or websites. So testing and optimization are very important elements that ensure that you have a high converting campaigns. Again, let's drive through them again. We're talking about you need to have a clear objective to your campaign, and then your campaign has to be targeted to a specific audience, and you need to have a clear and understandable, persuasive value proposition. And then how you communicate this value proposition to your target audience in order to achieve your clear objective is by making sure that you have compelling content. Alright, compelling content, which are things like your headlines, your body copy, and the multimedia materials that you use on your page. And then what really drives your visitors, your audience to take your desired action, it's going to be when you have strong call to action. And then again, it is these call to actions, this compelling content, these value propositions and target audience and your clear objective, everything must sit on an optimized landing page or website in order for you to get results. Then finally, you don't just fold your arms and say you've done it all, because if you remember what we talked about in one of the previous classes, we told you that conversion rate optimization is not a one-off activity. So which means that even when you have all of these things in place, you need to keep testing and optimizing in order to continually increase the results that you're getting from your campaigns. That said, we need to go to the next section of this class, where we will be talking about writing compelling headlines and body copy. Now, your headlines and your copy are crucial for capturing attention and persuading visitors to take your desired action. Now, there are some tips that you need to know about for crafting effective headlines and copies. And one of them is, while writing a headline or body copy for your offers or campaigns, you must learn to focus on benefits, right? You need to focus on benefits, highlighting the benefits your audience will receive rather than just the features of your products. This is something that's going to open them up and make them more receptive of your offers. When you talk about benefits, more than you just throw features and functions to them, benefits will actually help your audience to see your product or service in a more useful light, So you need to explain how your offerings will help them to solve their problems and improve their lives. These are usually what benefits consist of, and by communicating your benefits, you'll be, making your headlines and copies more compelling. And then again, you need to use strong, actionable languages. All right, you need to be strong, actionable languages that prompt actions, and avoid using unnecessary jargons or dictions or things that are not strategic enough in your copy, because you may end up wasting your audience time and they may not even be moved to take action on your offers. That's very bad for business. Now, the next thing you must consider in writing compelling headlines and copy is urgency. You must be able to drive a sense of urgency so that your audience or visitors will be moved to take actions now rather than later. So that is the importance of making sure that you have a sense of urgency. It helps you to encourage immediate action by creating a sense of urgency. And you use phrases like limited time offer or only a few copies left to prompt quick decisions and quick actions. In most cases, when you use these words, you need to make sure that you stick to them, because if you say limited copies and you don't have limited copies, you might be hurting your business rather than helping it in the long run. So when you make use of urgency, make sure that your urgency are real and you're using them the way you should, and not just using them to create false alarms. Then another thing you should also make use of in writing your headlines and copy is social proof. Social proof is very important. So think of approaching your customers to give you testimonials and reviews, because by incorporating testimonials and reviews and case studies and things like that, you help to build trust and credibility around your products and services or whatever thing that you're offering. So Persuasive can actually reassure your potential customers and increase conversions for your business in the long run. Alright, so it also helps your audiences to understand that your products, you're not making them elaborate. That you're not making them elaborate. In other words, they are not going to just be they are not the first people to actually test out your product. By incorporating social proof, you let your visitors to know that other people have used your product in the past or your service in the past, and they are getting good results, and that will help to reassure them that their investment in your product or service is a worthy one, because other people have gotten results by interacting or using your product or service. So social proof is an ever-potent weapon in making sure that you increase your conversion and conversion rate optimization. And when writing your copies and headlines, you need to be able to use these things to increase the results that you get. Again, I keep talking about testing different approaches, because in marketing, you never really can be sure until you have put things to the test. So you need to be able to test out different approaches to your marketing, be able to test out different social proof stories. You need to be able to test out different urgency types, test out different call to actions, and also test out different headlines and body copies, CTAs, and things like that, in order for you to honestly say you have arrived at a good result. Alright, so that said, we're going to now dive into the next session of this class, where we will give you some tips and insights on designing effective calls to action, which will now help your target audience to take your desired action. And in this section of the class, we'll be covering 5 different areas that will help you to design effective CTAs for your products, services, and other offers that you may have. The first of them is being clear and direct. Alright, you need to use straightforward language that tells users that you want what you want them to do. Examples like things like buy now, sign up today, get started. That is what you want them to do. You want users to get started with your service or product. You want users to buy now. You don't want them to buy tomorrow. You're saying buy now because you want them to buy immediately. So your call to action has to be direct, and very clear. It should not be something ambiguous. It should not be something that requires interpretation for them to know what you're trying to get them to do. So your call to actions have to be clear and direct, and communicate exactly what action that you want them to take. Again, you have to make them stand out. All right, it should not be something that is buried in the body of your copy or something that is very obscure. Your call to actions have to stand out, so you need to ensure that your CTAs are visually distinct from the rest of your content. Use contrasting colors, larger fonts, and prominent placements to draw attention to your CTA. So if you have a call to action, don't let it be buried in the body of your other content. Don't let your call to actions be buried in your design. It has to stand out in different ways, either in color, in font, size, design, whatever makes your call to actions stand out. Is so that even when a visitor is going through the page, they will be able to identify that this is a call to action and they're expected to take a different action in that respect. So very important that you make your call to actions stand out. And then following that is ensuring that you have persuasive copy in your content. All right, your copy has to be persuasive, and by persuasive copy, it means that you need to be able to reinforce the value and urgency in your CTA text. Now, phrases like limited time offer or exclusive access can increase the perceived value and prompt quicker actions. So in other words, you being able to use persuasive copy essentially means you emphasizing the value propositions of your offer, you emphasizing the need for your target audience to take action and take action now, you emphasizing the benefits of your product. So persuasiveness has a lot to do with emphasis, and you being able to actually find a way to emphasize certain elements of your product or offer that will eventually get your target audience to start taking your desired results. And then apart from that, you don't hide your CTAs. All right, your call to actions has to be in strategic positions on your page. All right, so you don't hide your CTAs. You have to place them at strategic positions where they will be conspicuous to your target audience. They have to be visible to your target audience. It shouldn't be something that they have to look for. So you always want to make your CTA or your call to actions, your buttons and links available and visible for your audience to be able to click on them and take your desired actions. Again, you notice that in all through this class, I've been talking about you testing. So testing is very important. So which means that no matter how clearly you follow the instructions any coach is going to give you about conversion rate optimization, at the end of the day, everything boils down to how much results you are able to get for your own business. Because every single business, as I know it, has some distinct sides to it. So what worked in one business might not exactly work in your own business. So regardless of if somebody has deployed a particular copy, a particular CTA, a particular media asset to achieve tremendous results in their business, it does not necessarily means that if you copy and paste exactly the same thing for your business, that you're going to get exactly the same results. You might be able to get some improvement, but it may not be exactly the same. Why is this so? Because there's some uniqueness to your business, and more often than not, your audience might also be a little different from what the other person, who the other person is trying to sell to. So for whatever thing you're deploying, for whatever campaign that you're deploying for your business, you must always include the element of you testing out different things, trying to find out what really works. If you've used A before, try to use B and see if B performs better than A. If you used AB before, try to use C and see if C performs better than ABC that you've used before. Things like that. So you keep testing out things and refining things and trying to get to the best possible results. So that is where designing effective calls to action. That's what we're trying to cut. Well, that's what we're drawing the curtain for designing effective calls to action. So and it is very instructive that you note the points that we've made in this class so that you can be able to make better use of it in your campaign. Now in the next class, we're going to be looking at engaging and crafting or creating engaging visuals and multimedia. Alright, so these are important because the words say that a picture is worth 1,000 words. So the media assets that you use are very important and very crucial to how much result you possibly can get. Right? And in crafting engaging visuals and multimedia, you need to pay attention to 5 of these points that we're going to highlight. The first one being the necessity of using high quality images. Alright, visual content is essential for grabbing attention and enhancing the overall experience of your users, and it is very important that you make sure that whatever visual elements that you're placing on your pages or your campaigns are of high quality and would also drive that sense of quality. And then if you're able to, which I think you should be able to strive to do, you need to incorporate videos, because white text are important, images are also very important, but videos actually have more powerful results. So if you are able to incorporate videos in your campaign, these are really highly recommended. Alright, so because videos can tremendously boost your engagement and conversions. Like videos can demonstrate product features, share customer testimonials, or even explain complex concepts about your product, which will make your customers more relaxed, more receptive of your messages, and more likely to take your desired action. So videos are very important. If you're optimizing, creating your visuals, make sure that you incorporate videos because they are of very high value in conversion rate optimization. And beyond that, you need to have your audience in mind when you're creating your visuals, either images or videos. You need to know that you're not creating this for yourself, you're not creating what you like, you're not creating for any other person but your audience. Those people that you're trying to sell to, what appeals to them eventually is going to be what will drive your decision about what kind of assets are you going to deploy for your campaign, what kind of videos are you going to create, what kind of images are you going to design, what are you going to say in those images and videos. It has to be for your audience. So your audience should always be at the back of your mind when you're creating content. Alright, so you design for your audience. So in other words, you need to make sure that you tailor your visuals to match the preferences and expectations of your target audience. In terms of color, styles, themes, and things like that. It has to be for your audience and not for you or any other person. Your target audience must be what you have in mind at all times while creating your visuals and multimedia for your campaign. And again, I'm mentioning optimizing for performance again. So you always have to make sure that you're optimizing for performance, watching what is working and what is not working, and trying to make changes where necessary. And then you try to add interactive elements again. By adding interactive elements, things like slides, quizzes, animations, this will help you to engage your users and encourage interaction. Now, interactive elements can also make your campaigns more memorable and effective. These are really very important areas to focus on, to look at. By focusing on these key elements, compelling headlines and copy, effective CTAs, and engaging visuals, you can create high converting campaigns that resonate with your audience and drive meaningful results. Then you again pay attention to continuously testing and optimizing your campaign, because this is the only way you're going to increasingly keep seeing results. Alright, increasingly keep seeing results. So you continuously have to test out, optimize your campaigns and messages, your pages and stuff, because this is going to help you to refine your approach and maximize your conversion rate over time. Alright, so we've come to the end of this class. In the next class, we're going to be looking at leveraging eConverter for your CRO. See you in the next class.